My name is Ifey Ikeonu. I serve on the board of the African School of Regulation. I've also been a consultant, and I did take the module on the gender mainstreaming in energy regulation. Gender mainstreaming really, especially in Africa, it's something that has been going on for quite a while. On the policy basis, there has been quite a lot of attempts to kind of integrate gender mainstreaming across board. In the ECOWAS region, for instance, where we are today, they have a very laudable ECOWAS gender mainstreaming policy, which was also backed by a directive on gender mainstreaming in energy projects. The biggest challenge really with the policy instrument, really, it's not the absence of the issues that need to be dealt with. It's really more had to do with the implementation. So, for instance, if we look at some of the key targets, in the mainstreaming document, it talks about ensuring, for instance, that the number of women we have in the energy sector in West Africa would be increased by up to 20% in 2020, and we'll have a 50% parity by 2030. But unfortunately, none of that has been achieved, really. And again, there are also issues of encouraging more women in STEM, also issues of making sure that female entrepreneurs especially are empowered to do a lot more in the energy ecosystem. But that hasn't been implemented across board, basically. So there's really a lot to be done when we talk about gender mainstreaming, and that is all the way from policy conception to analysis, to implementation, to monitoring and evaluation. So the biggest challenge it is really in implementation, and we're hoping that over the next few years that we're going to see much more being done in actualizing all of the targets we have, for instance, in that particular policy document that I just spoke about. Indeed, it is realistic, and I think when you look at East Africa, for instance, I keep saying that that is one of the regions that I think have done a lot more in terms of actualizing gender mainstreaming. Countries like Rwanda, like we know today, is really right there, especially when you look at things like even things like the parliament and all of that. Because the fact is that if you have more women at the decision-making stage, then you're much more likely to have more impact. So there is need for us to not just talking about quotas, but actually ensuring that these are replicated. So some countries in East Africa has done well, others not so well. So I think it's a vision that should go continental, really. So whether it's in East Africa or is in Southern Africa or is in Northern Africa or Central Africa, there's a lot more to be done to ensure that we empower women, especially in the energy sector where the gap, is quite wide. For me, really, we need a lot more champions. We need a lot more champions. Awareness is important. So what I see is that there appears to be a certain lack of awareness in terms of how we can mainstream gender in our day-to-day operation. So it doesn't matter what role you play. So whether you're a communication expert, whether you're an engineer, whether you're a lawyer, or whether you're an economist, there's always something that you can do within your day-to-day assignment in terms of ensuring that we make it a lot more aware, basically. So my vision really is that after this, and perhaps in subsequent cohorts as well, we are going to have, a credible group of women that can really push this agenda. Personally, while I worked in ECOWAS, I know that I took the advocacy to a different level. So anywhere I went, I was always like, where are the women, where are the policies and all of that. So that is the kind of vision I'm hoping that by the time that we are done with this, we're going to have people who will be asking those questions in whatever organizations they work, in whatever roles they play, to ensure that gender and inclusion is something that we will talk about all of the time. So the whole idea is, let's create the awareness, let's push it, let us fight, to really make sure that things are done. So you may have policies on one level, and you may have laws on the other, but you must have the people that are going to push to make sure that these are done in each and every one of the organizations and the roles we play. So that is my vision, that at the end of the day, it's getting a critical mass of people that would work towards ensuring gender mainstreaming in energy in Africa. My key takeaway is the need for collaboration, really. So for this to work, we must all work together. We need a lot more male champions. We need our partners to come on board. We need to have everybody on this, basically, because statistics have shown clearly that entities, companies that are more gender balanced participate well. So it is statistically, it has been empirically proved. So the whole idea is collaboration. We can all do our bit. So our partners, especially our male colleagues, we need a lot more male champions, because gender, like we know, is not about women, it's about women and men working collaboratively for us to improve energy access in Africa. Thank you so much.